And we had a little bit of the battle with the good old COD lobby demon, but we are here. We are underway. Westerrn, they're going to draw first blood in this COD XP Best of 5. The Saints, if they're able to win out the rest of this season, they will auto-qual for those playoffs. But this Westerrn team definitely not going to be any slouch. Going to see a whole lot of one-for-ones to start things off.
Yeah, coming in, of course, in that green and white, going to be the Saints. In that white-purple, it's going to be Westerrn. Westerrn starting off hot when it comes to the kills, but a few shutdowns come through from the Saints. Brandon's been holding down this site for a good chunk of time now, and you're about to hit that 20-point marker. There are no points to be spoken of for Westerrn here on this first hardpoint. I think there was some contention to come through, but nothing was able to be grabbed. In the end, the trades are good from these Saints, and that's what you see all around. Every time these guys get into the server, it's like 2 or 3 always down from that other team at once. Brandon actually going to lose that gunfight to Pookie, but a triple kill for the rest of the team means you're going to be able to keep grabbing points, keep stacking this up. Westerrn able to grab 4 right at the starting of this, but now you've got trophy systems set up. You've got Priestley manning the site with that Vaznev. How are you going to push in here is the question. You got to find picks. Pookie finds Relaz on the other side of the map, but Shady, you can't take down those Snakers. It takes Richie coming in on that flank to be able to find 2, and now he's just taking this spot exactly where Priestley was. Such a good head glitch to find, and we talk about the snaking all the time. It's so valuable here in COD, and that platform right there just allows you to do it so perfectly. Brandon with the contest. You got to win this gunfight. Brandon finds it. 35 health to his name. He rotates off that one, actually. Westerrn player going to grab some scrap time there. Not sure who's actually on there. Looks like it's Shady to hit that point, and Zyrox now doubling up there, but Brandon, good to find these rotations. He's good for 2. Switches back to the AR. Not going to get traded out just yet.
Yeah, the Saints doing a fantastic job early in this game, controlling all these engagements. They're doing a great job of finding these picks. Westerrn is doing a very good job in their own right of trying to get those one-for-one trades. They got some scrap time over on the Gallows. The Saints, though, they are now set up beautifully to ride through this choke. Priestley for 2. Relaz for the third one. Relaz and Priestley, a full house between the two boys. They're going to take this hard point. They might end up looking at a full 60 here, especially the way these spawns are. Richie, he's going to find the turn on to Priestley. Brandon, he's going to take him out in retaliation. He's going to go down to Shady. Westerrn, like we said, a lot of one-for-one so far in this game. But if you're St. Clair, one-for-ones is all fine and dandy when Blaz is sitting comfortably in that back corner on the hard point.
Relaz, while checking his angles, he does a little 360 there, down into 2 Westerrn players, shut down by, I believe it was Zyrox, who found that kill. But when it comes to the points, Westerrn having a hard time really getting a hold of these sites. You see Relaz up there, 13 kills. Brandon was almost double positive there for a sec, but now kills starting to come through for a few Westerrn players. You're starting to find a little bit of points here as well. You've got 2 trophies set up. This is going to be a tough one to push. Priestley, peep the movement. Look at how much finesse he has right now. How are you supposed to hit his head when you can only see it for a frame at a time?
You don't, and that's the answer the Saints were looking for. They find a couple of these picks. Shady, he's going to help to try to clean up this hardpoint. Brandon about to get pinched. He's going to be good for 1. Try to find the turn. The shots go through. The headshot is all day long. That's going to be 2. Third member still up top, though. Richie trying to work off the back of his teammates. Priestley takes down Zyrox. He will finally fall. Westerrn looks like they maybe got the hardpoint for a second there, but Brandon's going to find 2 and pick that thing right back up where they left it. Now only 10 seconds left of this next rotation. Saints almost at a 100-point lead already. Westerrn should be decently set up for this hard point next. Blaz is going to be kind of there for the rotation, kind of sitting in the back corner of that map there. And like we said, he's going to walk out of the corner, walk onto the hard point, and try to get set up.
Brandon coming through on a killing spree as well. He's going to be up there at 6 now. That's close to streaks if I'm not mistaken. Believe it's 7 for that streaker. Brandon already got that cruise missile in hand. He's going to fall, but you're 100 points up. You're giving away a little bit of time here, but now you can kind of just rotate back up. You see Blaz cutting off a lot of these rotations with that AR in hand. You're going to be able to get those long-range engagements that you want. Whoa. Blaz falls for some nice shots from Pookie. I believe those were headshots to come through. Not 100% sure there, but Brandon able to pick up an SMG as well. Can you find this fight with Shady? Shady has to make this rotation. There's one player behind him. It's Blaz trying to get this regen through. The Saints have been able to grab the last little bit of this hard point. Now you're up to 160, keeping that around 100-point lead alive. Looks like they're going to be playing towards next now. Brandon just trying to cut off these rotations as best he can to come through from Brandon. Relaz good for one as well. The Saints starting this next hardpoint off hot, looking to break that 200 barrier here.
Yeah, the Saints doing such a good job, and the one good thing is Westerrn has been set up, especially talking about spawns, they've been set up for these last 2 or 3 hardpoints to maybe get that first touch, then 2, 3, sometimes the entire team ends up falling. I mean, you can see the KDA across the board for these Saints. Everyone, like you said, pretty much playing near double positive for the most part, though. Richie, he's going to be good for 2. Pookie now going to work on the backside of this hardpoint. They're going to drop the trophies. Brandon good for 1. Spray transfer, perfect for the second. Maybe he's going to swing, try to find 3 and 4 here. He will get shut down by Richie. Westerrn doing a great job holding the backside of this truck. They need to get themselves back in the game right now. This hardpoint score, not necessarily out of pocket yet, but the longer they let this lead start to snowball, it's going to be a lot tougher for them.
Yeah, that truck is a tough spot to clear, especially when there's a second player who's able to cover that. But when you know where that player is, you're just a sitting duck inside of that truck sometimes. Double comes through from Pookie, keeping the dream as alive as you can be for Westerrn right now.
On the hard
that's the thing. They set up on that second hard point. Some picks come through, but the trade is back from Priestley. Richie falls. 1 for 1. 1 for 1. Keep coming through. Priestley is going to fall in the end. It's only Blaz alive. Westerrn takes control of this hard point. Zyrox and Shady there coming in from that other spawn. They're on it now. You get a little bit more time here. You've got the setup. You can maybe break 100.
I was going to say Brandon threw the grenade. The trophy system could not intercept it because Richie decided to intercept it with himself instead. And the Saints are going to be able to take back that hard point. They're going to get the rest of this time. They're going to put themselves above that 220 mark, and they should be in prime position to ride out the scrap time and try to close out the rest of this game. All they got to do is find a couple of picks. Westerrn, they are going to have this spawn advantage hard point on their side of the map. Richie and Pookie good for 1. Pookie good for a second one there. However, if you're the Saints, that 13 scrap time you just got at the end of this point, I mean, you're inching yourself that much closer to that 250 mark. And Westerrn, you're pretty much going to have to play perfect to win out.
That's the thing. The Saints can allow this setup to happen towards next point.
Just play for next.
For the sake of securing 226. Priestley on a triple there in the end. Brandon finally using that cruise missile to come through. This should secure off the game if you set up this hold right. It's going to take a long time for these players to come through. 3 from
Friendly
Pookie.
fire.
One of them being Shady himself there, but nonetheless, 2 Saints down. Pookie might be able to find something here, but you're going to have to deal with Blaz and Priestley. Relaz says, no way are you getting onto this point right now. 247, about to make it 250. That's going to be hard point. Done and dusted. 1-0 for the Saints right now.
Yeah, what was honestly a very, very even first 5 minutes of that game turned into an absolute slaughter toward the back half of that game. I mean, we saw double kills, we saw triple kills. Every single one of these guys was getting their hands dirty. We saw a nice cruise missile kill. Look at Priestley right there to land that headshot, instantly taking down that Westerrn member. And yeah, like you said, it was 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 until it wasn't, and then it got real out of hand for Westerrn.
Yeah, it was very strong from the Saints off the gate, and then very back and forth once the Saints hit that 200 marker, but they secured 226, and at that point, it doesn't take much. 24 seconds, 24 points on that next hard point, and that's one of the harder hard points to actually recapture when there's a solid setup around that fountain.
Yeah, and the Saints, one thing we know they can do is they can set up around that fountain, set up behind the truck. Their setups are so good. That's why you see, as long as they find those 1 or 2 picks at the start of a hard point, once they get settled in there, they don't usually get taken off. But even if they lose and the hard point goes into neutral, they always find a way to rally back to it, find a way to get a man on there, at least to stall things out. So if they're not gaining points, they're never really losing points and falling behind. And that's one thing that has helped them so much. But with that being said, we will throw it to a very, very quick break in between maps here. Saints currently leading 1-0.
ready to go. Game 2, map 2 here. This is going to be search and destroy on Embassy, something the Saints have been very, very strong on previously. I want to see if we have somebody pick up that sniper, though, but this is a very quick execute. 3 players up on that balcony, though. You definitely want to make sure nobody's going to get taken out, but the peaks aren't going to come through. It was actually a little bit of a Kobe to come through with that nade. Found the first one. Shady's going to fall to Blaz. Richie, you get spotted out. You picked the wrong angle. The wall bang comes through, and in the snap of a finger, what it felt like, Westerrn falls in that first round. I don't even think we saw a Saint fall there.
Relaz playing Rainbow Six out here. He's going to be good through the door. Finds the second one. A 3K for Relaz on the back of the rush plant from these Saints. And I mean, listen, we know they're comfortable on Embassy. They've tried a million different strategies. A lot of them have actually worked. I love that rush plant strat. Not many teams in COD really employ that because, I mean, if it doesn't work, you're down bomb, you're down planter, you're down a man instantly on those tennis courts. But when it works and you have Relaz to clear the way there, it works to perfection. Oh, Pookie. A little trouble there.
Yeah, Relaz took that upper window and was just playing straight support for them. Brandon holding down where Richie was last round. Richie going to be the first one to fall here. Rotations come through. Shady can't finish anyone off. He's got bomb as well. They've kind of spotted him out in the corner. Brandon, can you find that little peek through the door? Westerrn's ready for it.
With an SMG, he's trying to take that angle.
Listen, Brandon's playing for intel right now.
Brandon, he's playing for info, playing for Clair. Shady and Zyrox trying to lay down this cover fire. Brandon still just spamming open that door. Priestley snaking his way around the side of the tennis court, though. Blaz finds the headshot. Priestley and Blaz now trying to see if they can link up. Both of these Westerrn members trying to get this plant down. Pookie and Shady. Pookie is going to find the sniper kill on Brandon. Blaz, he sees a leg, but doesn't catch the timing. Still going to be that 3v2 for the Saints. Westerrn, though, at least in position to try to make a play.
30 seconds to make that play, however. You got to find your way to B. You got to find your way to A, but you move towards A. Look who's waiting for you. Relax. You missed that first shot, Pookie.
He rushed it.
You cannot miss that shot, especially on Relaz. But Shady from the other side, he's able to find one, takes so much damage, but he's still alive. Blaz to finish that one off.
Look where the bomb is.
And Pookie, 1v2 with the sniper in hand. Can you make this work is the question. You got to move fast. 4 seconds, you have to find the kills.
Yeah, maybe find a kill or two really quickly. Pistol kill, 1 second left. Doesn't get the timing in time, though. That is going to be another round over to the Saints. Not going to lie, that was a little bit close for the Saints for comfort. But, you know, they felt confident that last second swing, that's all they're going to need. Now they're going to switch sides once again, and we'll see what kind of attack we get out of the squad this time.
Yeah, listen, the Saints know what they got to do at the end there. Yeah, you see Blaz fall out that window, and the kill does come through, but you know that last player not going to give themselves up in a manner that's going to make them lose that round. Nonetheless, some great shots to come through from Pookie in the end. Pookie actually one of the only Westerrn players to really make their mark on this game so far with that sniper rifle as well. Peekaboo. Brandon in the close range.
Yeah, peekaboo with Richie rather. Relaz takes out Shady, and already 4v2 bomb down Westerrn. This is going to be a very, very tough round, especially when Pookie's on the sniper, sitting back mid, trying to see if he can find a lurker or a pick. Zyrox has to face check the office. Relaz is going to take him down, check all those corners. And once again, Pookie, maybe let the Saints know where you're at. Try to get an exit frag, but unfortunately, it's not Valor CSGO, so finding an exit frag doesn't mean a damn thing in Call of Duty.
I mean, 1v4. We've seen crazier things, but these shots gotta land. You gotta place them well. And Pookie, you missed that first shot with the sniper. It's all downhill from there. 3-0 on SND right now. Embassy still remaining a crazy strong map for the Saints here. CXP, Westerrn University, no exception to that rule thus far.
Yeah, they say they had a very competitive hardpoint. Even one of those search rounds, they brought it pretty close, but you don't want to let these Saints get to that 4 or 5-0 lead. I mean, being on match point, especially when it gets to that 5-0 mark, the game just seems unattainable at that point. If Westerrn can get this offense cooking, if they can figure out some kind of set play, some kind of set situation, they can definitely get back into this game, but they're going to have to do some work. They're going to have to get some value off the sniper with Pookie. They're going to have to try to find that first blood and try to create the advantage, but Brandon is getting going with the sniper rifle. Priestley's going to collapse. And just before you can breathe, 2 members down. Richie, though, beautiful job to find the swing. Pookie with the third, too. Westerrn completely turning this round on its head.
Blazo, get that AR in hand. You found the flank. You saw Richie. Not going to be able to land any of those shots, though. Richie got an idea of where Blaz is at. The 1v1, Blaz has to make the play for this bomb here, or I guess play on this bomb.
Does he know that he didn't grab it?
Is Westerrn on the
went
attack?
up top, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
he's playing
I don't even
defense
know why I said that,
on that bomb right now.
Well, he said that too, Western's attack, but yeah, he's going to be that bomb, literally corner spawn of the map. Now it's pretty much just, am I going to hear anything or am I going to see anything? And at that point, I'll go to make a move.
Yeah.
30 seconds, though.
Blaz not even concerned about
Why?
the bomb
Yeah.
as well. I mean,
1v1, wait for plant.
yeah, wait for plant, try to play it out, really.
Richie's got to move.
Got to move eventually. But I think I want to say his plan here is to just grab it at, say, 10 seconds, sprint to that A site, right?
The only thing, yeah, he's just cutting it a
Quick
little bit close there.
180. You need 7.5 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, or 4 seconds for the plant. 5 for the plant. He is going to make it in time.
Barely.
With a fraction of a second left, like 0.6, 0.4, something around there. Now, 40 seconds to play with, Jobin.
We finally get that 1v1 we were looking for. Blaz versus Richie. Now, this is all going to come down to that timing. That grenade going to give Blaz away, at least for the moment. He's going to maybe go try to fake out that second story. The jump swing. One more quarter to check. He gets tagged up, and Western's going to get on the board.
Richie taking it slow, taking it steady, finds that plant in the nick of time. It's almost like he's made that play before, because how do you time it so perfectly down to the fraction of a second there? And Richie keeping it calm, cool, and collected, taking that 1v1, stopping the shutout here in S&D, and maybe starting up some momentum for Westerrn here. You see Zyrox still sitting at 0-4 here. Shady 1-4. Those players looking to make their mark as we come later into this game. Now that Westerrn maybe a little bit reinvigorated from that round after some tough rounds at the starting, to say the least.
Yeah, it looks like Westerrn maybe made not an incorrect read, but they kind of guessed wrong here. Shady laying backside tennis court, gets tagged and stunned up. The Saints going for that rush plant B. Priestley, he does not let Shady get away, though. He runs him down, takes him out. Richie, beautiful swing on the corner, takes out Relazed, but Brandon is on the dot with that headshot, and the Saints are going to have that 3v2 advantage. They're going to find the plant once again. This attack so diverse. Now Zyrox, the jump swing. Oh, Priestley takes out Pookie. It's all down to Zyrox, and he will go down just like that, and the Saints will get that round back fast.
Yeah, Richie tried to find, I'm going to call it a parkour peek right there, as he hops one garden towards that next, but there wasn't the follow-up, wasn't able to find that initial entry kill either, and just look at the angles they had covered. Brandon right on top of the bomb. They had one player up on the balcony, and then you got Blaz playing that double windows from that office there. All points covered. What are you going to do in that situation? You have to try and make that aggressive play. Not going to come through for Westerrn. 3-round lead back for the Saints here. Only 2 for the Saints to be able to find this victory. Westerrn really got to get in gear if they want to stay in this game. But Priestley finding first blood onto Richie as well. A stellar player from Westerrn. One of the only ones really making their mark in Search and Destroy right now. Yeah,
they're in gear. Unfortunately, they might be stuck in park or neutral, at least for the first 5 rounds. The Saints, Priestley, I think that's 3 on the round for him. He is now going to look to find the ace. He has picked up the sniper rifle. Can he find the timing? Oh, Priestley, you didn't have to do it to him. The jumping quick scope, the ace, and the 5th round on the board for St. Clair. That's going to put them over on the match point, and let's marvel at his work one more time. 9-1 on the game. A little jumping quick scope a la the old MW2, and the Saints are more than happy to be 1 round away from winning this map.
The shot that Pookie's been trying to find all game, too.
Priestley picks it up, Cyber for 5 seconds. Does that. 5 seconds.
I mean, 9-1 in the search right now. I mean,
to get the ace,
look at the kid.
Had to finish the ace with a quick scope.
6 streak online.
3 plants.
Jeez. Could even have that cruise missile coming in. He does have it. Dives through. They're looking for this quick execute once again. Ooh. Stun is actually going to land. That gives some good intel from Priestley. He knows one player's back there. He knows he's not going to swing out after that stun. Plant is immediate. And we're back to playing this post situation. Pookie finds the first one on the trade back in. 4v3 now for Westerrn University. You got to play this one out well, though. You got to play this one out smart. Pookie, I already like this idea. The team kill to come through. Even it out to a 3v3. The defuse, though. No peek from Relaz. No peek from Blaz. Nobody going to peek out that office window. And the defuse just going to be stuck out from Westerrn University, keeping themselves in the game.
Just a kind of a strange round in general. A fantastic play by Shady. Ends up one-tapping his teammate, ends up finishing off Brandon. But the Saints, like you said, two of them go play back office. The Ninja Defuse starts. No one really catches when the defuse is happening. It's not like you can hear the diffusers, but it's not like in Valorant where you hear a loud, like audible, like oh, they are
beep.
on the strike. Yeah, Call of Duty, you can hear it, but it's not, not nearly as recognizable, if at all. There, the Saints though, 5-2. They're still in full control of this round. Priestley does get that streak snapped, unfortunately. Westerrn going to opt for this tennis court push once again toward B. Saints trying to take some early space, though.
I mean, yeah, you talk about that diffuser sound. I mean, you go back to, say, the classics in COD. I mean, Ninja diffusing. Yeah. SMD, where it was born.
You used to have to spin in circles to keep the sound silent, though.
That's true. That's true. 4-3. Westerrn has the lead. Zyrox, first kill of the game, able to shut that one down. You're keeping Westerrn in this round for now. Trade does come back through. Zyrox is going to fall. Priestley snaking back and forth. He's able to draw out some shots, draw out some positioning from these players as well. He wants to make this peek onto Shady. Can he find it? No, because Pookie there in the window. Shady held down. Relazed in the 1v2.
No time.
Pinched from both sides. No time to work with. 5-3. Westerrn not done just yet. Saints, though, still on that match point. You've still just got to find one.
Yeah, this is more what we expected to see out of Westerrn. They are a very, very strong team. They're going to find their way back into this game. Pookie now at 6-5. He's struggled on the sniper rifle for a little bit. Moved back over to that AR. He has been finding those kills for Westerrn. And I mean, not a moment too soon. You were sitting 5-1 back against Wall. And even like Zyrox, right? You had a crazy rough start to the game. All you got to do is have 2.5 good rounds here. You could finish 4-7 and find yourself coming back and winning.
Here's the thing. On attack now, all you got to do is find this plant. Priestley still sitting on that cruise missile.
Oh, yeah, and the Saints are going to play a lot more patient this game. Looks like somebody's going to go headhunting Zyrox, trying to take these second floor offices.
Deep in this building right now.
Yeah, he is extremely right behind enemy lines here. The rest of the Saints kind of holding that middle area, that line of scrimmage, not really giving away any position. And I mean, they do have a minute to go plant. You couldn't have told by the last couple rounds. They went and got that bomb down in like 5 to 10 seconds, it felt like. But now, a much more measured approach. Just not even hardly any shots fired so far.
Yeah, Blaz taking the approach from Zyrox there, getting into enemy lines, and now he's on this A site. Hasn't really heard any audio cues from anyone as that seventh player, Shady, was going to rotate off of A actually fairly quickly. Richie, here's some doors opening, some finesse in the movement down mid there from Priestley, and he gets this bomb plant down. Now, Richie, who's going to be the one to shut this down? Richie, you got to peek the right angle. Richie, so strong on that SMG.
Yeah, the Vaznev, definitely the gun you want from that range. Brandon is going to be there for that 1-for-1, though. Going to give the Saints a little bit here. That Deddy's going to get popped. Priestley, good for one there on Pookie. The turn, Brandon's good for one. Priestley's going to chase down the last one. That is, I believe, going to be a flawless, maybe one member falling in the process. However way you want to spin it, though, that's going to be map 2 over to the Saints. They are now sitting one map away from closing out the series.
2-0 right now, moving into control. We're going to be back on Albagra for that one. Now that I think about it, I don't think we've seen Albagra control too much from the Saints, at least.
We don't see a ton of control in general, it seems like.
Yeah,
sometimes,
I mean,
but not, yeah.
Yeah, it's always in that third map, right? But yeah, definitely, different maps. And we've been given, actually, we've been pretty blessed in MW2 to have a pretty wide map pool, especially compared to what the community liked to play on Vanguard. Even though technically there was 4 maps legal in that game, it felt like 2 to say the least. But 2-0 to start off for the Saints. Westerrn fighting back in SND, but unable to close out that last round. Some stellar shots from Priestley are going to finish it out. We'll join you back with map 3, game 3, control.
And we are back in for potentially our final resting place of this COD XP series. Westerrn currently at a 2-0 disadvantage. Ignore the HUD. You see the names. You know who these Saints are. Ignore that kill feed. We're last. He's going to take out Pookie Richie. We have seen a lot of TKs, and they are going to fix the slides. We do have a draw, so technically we are 3-0-1 now in this series. Westerrn, they get 1 point on aggregate there for the draw, but the players have to get in. They have to swap sides. So I guess one thing we'll talk about really quickly. What is one thing you think either Westerrn has to do, or because it feels like the last two maps, like there was portions where it was definitely competitive, and then it just kind of falls apart toward like that mid game.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something about, like, they make these amazing picks at the starting, and especially in S&D, Richie was like there, right? But the thing is, every kill he would find, or everything that would kind of set them on this path to victory in that round, it was a very risky start from them, in my opinion, right? The respawn modes, I couldn't even tell you at this point. I mean, Hardpoint was tough for them, just in terms of rotations and really holding that site. It wasn't necessarily the kills. They would find 2-3 kills, but they couldn't get on that site. They couldn't hold it for longer than 15, 20 points at a time. And when you're trading off 40 to 50 for the Saints, it's tough to try to come back. Control, going to be a different story. Obviously, you've only got 2 points to capture there. You really only need to make those 3 ticks happen. So it's going to be interesting to see nonetheless, but I want to see Richie in there with that SMG. Clearly, he's got the gun skill for it. I need to see him making plays on these control points to get the team, get that ball rolling. You do not want to leave yourself with a 3-0. I mean, it's unfortunate, to say the least.
Especially when you have like nice competitive spurts, like we said. It's like if you play well on Hardpoint, that first like quarter of the game, they played super back and forth. You do find those 1-for-1s. It just feels like, at some point in the game, something either snaps or the Saints, they key into something, they figure out what's going on. They're able to find those picks in the backside of each other. And again, they're looking to close out this map. They have another game at 10:30, a CCL game. So I know these guys want to get in. They want to get out as fast as possible. Westerrn definitely has put up a good fight so far. And I mean, listen, if they held out that search as long as they did, they're going to go down swinging for sure.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm expecting much more resistance. I mean, technically, it is a respawn mode, but the thing about Control is you do got, like, a live lead there, but it looks like the lobby's having a little bit more issues here, so we're going to send it back to a little break, but please bear with us here because we will be back.
I'm praying to the game right now.
Yeah, we will be back on Albagra Fortress for this Map 3 Control in just a little bit.
Hopefully. And once again, we are trying our best to fight off this COD lobby demon. He keeps rearing his ugly head. Vanguard MW2, however you want to spin it. Relazed and Richie are going to trade out these first kills. Up control, potentially our deciding map of the night. Westerrn sitting in that unenviable 2-0 deficit right now. And control on Al-Bagr, potentially our final landing site of the evening for this match.
Zyrox good for a double right now. As Westerrn on the attack. Toss that trophy in, but look at this angle from Brandon. Shady, ooh, are you going to be able to find that kill? Yes, you can. 30 health to spare, but AR beats SMG. There's the wall banks to come through from Blaz. Blaz for 2 in the end after all is said and done.
Where did he shoot Shady from?
I don't know.
Through the wall, I guess?
Who knows? Yeah, through somewhere. But Priestley and Brandon,
oh my
good
goodness,
for a few as well. Now you're up 6 lives. No ticks to be found in the end. And now here's where the spawns get tough on Al-Bagr. Map on control that's pretty well known for some of the spawn traps, spawn camps.
Very balanced, as you can see.
Very balanced. As you can see, looks like these Overwatch games we've been seeing from the team there on Circuit Royale. We saw the same thing earlier tonight. I didn't realize we switched all the way to COD.
I know, as I mean, you basically get that spawn trap. Westerrn, though, they're going to find a couple kills. The only thing is now, though, 23 to 12. Lord. Brandon make it a 3-piece with the soda for Westerrn. They're going to clear out the rest of that team. Blaz takes out Richie. I believe that is 3 team kills back to back to back if you've been keeping count. Priestley takes out Zyrox. Priestley's good for another. Blaz is good for another one. It is an absolute massacre, and Westerrn gets dusted in round 1.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you forget that these control rounds are, what, a minute 30 to start before you grab that first point? Not much to be said. Amazing control there from Brandon. Just keep holding down that right trigger because the bullets are going to fly, and you know Brandon is finding those kills when necessary. 6-2 on Brandon, 7-2 on Blaz, 6-1 on Priestley, and even you take a look at Relaz. It doesn't look like he's doing as much as these other players, but he's on a 3 streak moving into this next round. Now you're on the attack. Brandon flying off that balcony at breakneck speeds. A stun going to come through, but he's playing it close there. Richie going to take him down. Shady's good for another as well, and this initial push from the Saints pretty well shut down, but look at A. Take a look over near that truck. Priestley not able to actually grab the capture, and now Westerrn giving the Saints a bit of their own medicine back. Blaz, though, good for 1. Traded out by Pookie on that jump shot. Now, this is going to be tough for the Saints to make it out of this spawn. Priestley pulls out that combat knife, makes a mad dash for B, but Zyrox shuts it down. Saints just inching their way out of spawn, taking every piece of space they can. Relaz shut down by Richie through the debris, through those particles there. And now, 40 seconds left. Saints still in this same position.
Yeah, I mean, just as well as the Saints got that spawn trap working, it goes equally the other way in Westerrn. They have done a fantastic job cutting off the middle of the map, finding these frags when they need to. They have A and B under lock and key right now. The Saints haven't really found a way to puncture this defense. Pookie is good for 2 there, and in all likelihood, honestly, this looks like it's going to be a round easily over to Westerrn momentarily.
Keep in mind, 10 seconds left. Double kill from Priestley. Can you shut down Shady? Not able to find those kills. Priestley shut down. 5 seconds left. You got to make a mad dash for one of these points, but the spawn trap, too potent on this map. 1-1 here in control.
Yeah, those 2 rounds tell you everything you need to know. The spawns are very balanced on this map. Definitely not attacks or defense sided, rather. They end up shutting that down. Westerrn, though, this is the kind of round you needed to have and you definitely wanted to have. Now you've taken a round under your belt. That's going to be essentially like their first kind of like major round of the entire series. Now you got some momentum, especially considering you can start to play these spawns. Now you can get some momentum. You can get your feet under you just a little bit. Now we see a much more even kill distribution amongst Westerrn as well.
Oh, 100%. And you see the deaths starting to stack up for the Saints there as well. It's just the defending side has such a strong hold on this map. Once you get those first ones to come through, the car taking out Priestley in the end. First actual kill to come through for the Saints is going to be Relaz, but a Semtex from Pookie good onto Blaz there. Going to have to wait for some respawns to come through as A, starting to get this first tick down. Zyrox, somebody's going to have to clear him out of this truck eventually, but those trophy systems making it a tall task, and the first tick is grabbed. That's the first tick of the game so far. Westerrn not wanting this to be their last map here. 5 lives up, or 4 lives up. Not able to grab the second tick at A just yet. It is going to come through, and Saints might be fine to just leave A where it is and really lock down this B site.
Yeah, at this point, you're trying to play to get these lives as even as possible. Pookie and Shady, though, going to do their best to keep that live advantage. Relaz is going to challenge. He's going to stop the A push. He's going to stop that final tick. That's going to at least take some time off the board for Westerrn. Richie, though, he might have a very, very nasty flank cooking up here. The Saints going to rotate back over to this A side. Blaz has his back to the A side. They're really zoning in on this B site right now, trying to clear out the backside of the gallows here. Relaz and Shady trade one out yet again. This B push still being favored. The kills are found, though. The Saints, like you said, they're going to sack this A point. They are down 22-17 in lives, though, so if they are going to try to barrel down and lock down this B site, they're going to have to do it in a very, very clean fashion.
Ooh, was that a stun that found the kill? Priestley, that final tick of damage necessary. Zyrox is going to fall, but not before he captures that A point. Going to give a nice little time boost to Westerrn there. Over 2 minutes, or just under 2 minutes now on that clock, and you've already found a tick on B. The problem is, now you've got all 4 Saints playing lockdown B site. Richie has to make the play. This is the player I outlined earlier, that aggressive player who's got that gun skill necessary, especially on the SMG here in close quarters. Can you find a third? Make it 3. Richie, are you serious right now? But you gotta start looking towards this B point.
Yeah, it's all gonna be on Blast. Brandon and Priestley gonna find a couple massive frags. Priestley finds another one, and that site going to be almost cleared out completely. The crossfire, Blast takes out Priestley, but not gonna be the end of the world. However, the Saints only gonna have a couple more lives left before they are out of respawns. They're gonna have to find some 2-for-1s here. Otherwise, just through sheer war of attrition, those are 2 massive kills. I was gonna say Westerrn could be able to 1-for-1 their way through this game. They have an entire minute and 20 seconds, so this game I would definitely expect to hit that lives limit.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 lives means nothing in COD, and we just saw exactly why that ranged true. 8-7, Westerrn still up, still a minute left, but we might have TDM on our hands here as Saints back down 2 lives below. Brandon finds 1, trying to even it out. No respawns remaining. Once Blast comes back up, that is it. But only 5 left for Westerrn. All you need to do is play this defense to a T. This is a neck-and-neck round. I don't think we've seen Control get this close in a long time here in MW2.
Yeah, and now the thing is the Saints are playing very smart defensively. Brandon playing off on that A point. They're trying to hold the middle, knowing Westerrn can try to run in here and W-key us. If we find 2 kills, they are also going to be out of respawns. Oh, Blaz, he got some info, but can he find the timing? So many of these Westerrn members. Oh, he saw him jump at the window and looks away at the last moment. Now only 2 Saints left, Priestley and Relaz. No respawns for Westerrn. They have 10 seconds to play. Now it's all onto Relaz. He finds 1. The rest of Westerrn starting to barrel down on him. He's going to try to find the kill. The grenade's going to be live. The Semtex not going to find the mark. They're going to start to progress these ticks. They're going to lay behind the gallows and try to play this time. He finds 1. He will not find another, though. Westerrn is going to take this round and take the lead in this game.
First lead Westerrn has had in one of these round-based game modes, and I mean, that Control round went the distance.
That's the closest one we've seen in a long time.
I don't think we've seen it really devolve into TDM for MW2 thus far, but yeah, when it comes down to 4v4 or 2v4, no respawns there, it's tough to try and make it out, especially when you see Relaz in that 1v3 position, 3 different angles he's got to worry about. Yes, he finds the first kill, but trades are always going to be good from the side of Westerrn here. First Blood going to go over to Saints on their own attacking round, and one thing we got to think about is that, Priestley.
Listen, that's like the Priestley special at this point. Richie, though, going back the other way, these submachine gun players have been having an absolute field day. Pookie takes out Priestley. He has had a very, very strong Control game as well. Brandon's good for 2, though. Richie and Zyrox going to fall. The spray is going to go through Brandon. He's got low HP. He does not want to take that fight right away again. Going to be a little bit of a, no, not a reset here. Blast takes out Pookie. Brandon gets jump swung. Richie, once again, always finding ways to get these short corner kills. They're going to hustle over to that A site. They're going to try to get these ticks away and get that time bonus going.
That's the thing. I mean, you look at the scoreboard, Pookie's been ahead in kills for a good amount of the game, but all these kills Richie find so flashy in the end, and just the sheer speed of them and the way he peaks, it's nothing like we've seen in MW2. MW2 really slowed down the meta a lot, and Richie throwing that out the window and just playing straight up speed, run, and gun SMG. Exactly what you want to see here in Call of Duty. Relaz can't make that second kill, traded out by Pookie. Zyrox is going to fall on that site. First tick grabbed on the attack here. First time Saints were able to grab a tick here in this game. And now seems like both of these teams have kind of been able to shut down the spawn traps, not get themselves backed into that corner. But 28 seconds to work with. Going to move to this capture. It's Priestley. A little bit of movement there in the van, but Pookie too solid on that AR. Richie with this movement. Good for 2. Traded out by Relaz, but somebody's got to get on this point soon. The Saints having a tough time here in control.
Yeah, Pookie on that 5 streak in Westerrn. In all likelihood, they should be able to close this out. The Saints have 10 lives left already. They've basically been running it down, trying to get back to the point over and over and over. And all these Westerrn members are finding home with these shots. Now we're seeing those positive KDAs, and we're going to see Westerrn take their first map of the series, and we will be going over to a map 4.
3, 2, 1. Westerrn finding their stride in that second round and carrying that momentum as far as you can go. 3 straight for Westerrn, the only team to find an attacking round here in this game as well. Look at the scoreboard there. Look at Pookie there, 2,800 damage. Priestley very close to that as well, but unable to really crack that number that he found there. And 2-1. We're going to be moving back into Hardpoint this time, though, on Embassy there. That's going to be our map 4. We're going to go take a quick little break, get these lobbies nice and ready. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we get these lobbies nice and ready, but we're going to be back coming in for map 4. See if Westerrn can make this 2-2, bring it to that decisive map 5.
Hopefully.
getting in. Hardpoint, map 4. Westerrn starting off with a bang, getting to that hardpoint real quick. And Pookie gonna find the first blood of the game there. 4 points to Westerrn so far. Doubles from each side. Brandon, keep it going with that SMG. 2 streak now for himself. But you gotta make a play for this hardpoint at some point. 30 seconds on this first one. Neither team really grabbed much, to be honest.
I mean, they basically went now 4 kills for 4 kills, 4 score on the hard point. Priestley and Relaz, though, they're going to find a couple kills, open up that middle area. However, I mean, 40 seconds already drained off that hard point. Saints now going to get a little bit of time toward the end here, but this second point, this second rotation is where we're going to get a good crux of the action here. Pookie and Shady, good for 2 more on the exits. Blaz going to trade out Shady there, keeping that hard point neutral, at least till this rotation, which it looks like is going to be hotly contested there. The Saints, though, they find a litany of picks. Zyrox taking out Blaz, though. That is the one pick that Westerrn needed to keep that hardpoint locked down.
Yeah, and only 16 points from that first hardpoint were grabbed. Both of these teams kind of just battling it back and forth towards that mid area of the map. Nobody could necessarily get on to that point, but you know who got onto that point now? It's Westerrn University to start to take the lead here. Double up the points of the Saints, but 3 kills come through for the Saints. Zyrox trades some back. Who can get onto this hard point next is the question.
Did Priestley with his best Jeff Hardy impression. They're off the top rope. Gonna swing down. Relaz gonna find that kill. He gets traded out by Shady. Shady's gonna be good for 2 there. He's gonna try to lock down this hard point. Blaz takes down Pookie. Brandon taking a lot of bullets there. Blaz is gonna help him out though. Pick up that second kill. The Saints, once again, we saw a similar situation last time. Westerrn, they get a decent amount of time at the start. The Saints get a little bit of garbage time. Richie, a little bit of a misinput there. Should be able to at least survive for that time. The Saints will lock this one down. Once again though, this will definitely go back to Westerrn once this point rotates.
Brandon trying to find these long-range shots down mid. Brandon, been that player to always start with the AR and grab the SMG as the round goes on and then make the plays with both of them.
Look at Priestley.
Priestley with the movement going back and forth. Got to return to that
combat.
Too much movement. A little too much movement for sure. Now, even it out in points is the Saints. 40 seconds to work with on this next hard point. And this hold is looking solid. Kind of similar to what they did in SND where Blaz holds that off this window. Shady finally able to find that one back, but slim chances you're going to be able to get up here and make this shot. Relaz there. Prone, able to find it. 41 HP. Not going to be followed up by Pookie just yet, though. Pookie now onto that hard point. Blaz with long-range shots are going to be good. 10 seconds left. That was a nade and a half.
Yeah, Shady from way downtown there, Westerrn. They're going to be over the first ones to this point. The Saints, are they going to be able to find these kills? They are not. 3 are going to fall in a hurry. And Westerrn, pretty consistent pattern this game. They will be first ones to the hard point, and it's going to be on these Saints to try to counterattack and find their way over to that hard point. Westerrn, a very sound defensive setup, though. They got members proning behind every single corner, every single doorway. Pookie and Richie, good for 1 there. Zyrox playing the backside of that office. Westerrn, slowly but surely increasing this lead, just about to surpass the Saints here. They will grab the lead back in this game, and they are still looking very strong.
Yeah, Relaz shots in the back onto Pookie, and now Blaz spots one out in the corner. Zyrox not ready for it. The contest comes through, and that's 3 players down, all 4 down for Westerrn University. Saints, can you even it out, though, is the question. I mean, only 18 seconds left on this point after you find that 62. You're able to grab the lead, but a tight game.
Zyrox.
And here's this next point here coming through. That's going to be that kitchen area. Whoever gets set up in there first, essentially, barring some miracle shots and miracle trades to come through, you've almost got all 60. Double trophy system set up in there. It's such a tough angle to find. Priestley, good for 1 pick. Richie playing off that site as well. You make this 3-prong approach, and you might be able to find it, but Richie's good for 3, still alive.
Yeah, Richie holding down that kitchen, finds the multi-kill. They're going to swing for the 4th. Relaz had to reload, going for the melee. And that's the thing, the 3-pronged attack is the only way to attack the kitchen. But if one of those prongs gets bent, gets some way out of wire there, you're going to have such a hard time to retaking this site. Westerrn right now on their way to this full tick. The Saints are going to find a few more kills, but you have to put that pressure on. You have a 4v1 in kitchen. You have to take use of that space. They are going to finally find that last kill. They're at least going to grab maybe 15, 20 points here, barring some kind of disaster. Gonna get themselves around that 80-85 mark-ish. Gonna put themselves back in position. This hard point gonna reset to this first spot in the middle here. Westerrn doing a great job trying to find these kills. They're going to find a whole lot, get a couple extra seconds here, and they're going to be in a great spot for this next one.
Pookie's good for 3. Clears Blaz on that rotation as well. Sets up here for this next hard point. Back to P1 here. Brandon in the windows, able to find that one, shut down the trophy systems. Priestley now going to grab some more objective time. Fairly spread out throughout the team here, whereas over towards Westerrn, you see Shady and Zyrox, really those objective players of the team. Pookie, now, can you make these shots happen? Priestley's good for 2, keeping this dream alive, trying to tie it up here. Westerrn started off very slow in this series, but coming out and showing out on Embassy here, especially in this hardpoint game mode. Talk about control last map as well, but the Saints coming back, trying to even this one out, about to crack that triple digits there. 3 minutes to play in the game.
Yeah, if they hold this the rest of the way, they're pretty much going to be at an even game here. 113, 111, I believe, is what we're going to be looking at. Blaz finds the stun. I believe that's Zyrox in the corner. They're both getting stunned up. They're Zyrox and Blaz trying to see which one's going to peek first. Pookie's going to go down to Brandon, though. Brandon's still going to lurk on the backside of this hardpoint. The Saints had a great rotation, and Blaz has a dirty angle through the backside of that car windshield. He's going to find one. Relaz takes out Richie. That is going to be one of those key members down. Pookie, he sees legs. He gets shot, though. He gets tagged up. Can't decide who to spray. Isn't going to find a kill. The Saints will continue to grab this time on the hard point. Richie, though, we know how dangerous he's been. Him and Shady trying to get going on the back line to even things up.
Yeah, going to be traded out in the end. Zyrox good for 2 from the trucks or from the vans in the corner. 20 seconds left on this hard point. Saints did grab the lead, but Westerrn has a good hold. Should be able to grab all the way up to close to 140 here. Towards the end of it, one player shut down by Brandon. Now, both teams kind of giving up on that last hard point. Just going to play for next. I mean, you're pretty well evened out. You don't want to be the team that leaves too many players trying to get scrap time, and then you get set up on towards that next point. But here it is. We saw the Saints almost dominate this specific hard point the last time it was over here at servers. So gonna have to see if they can do it again. Blaz and Relaz gonna be the 2 to hold this one down for now.
Yeah, and it's always such great timing when you find a couple of those kills. You can reset those spawns 15, 20 seconds. Getting basically that stagger or that full team kill gets you 15 to 20 hardpoint points, essentially for free there. Now it's gonna be on Westerrn to try to mount the comeback a little bit, because this is such a hard point to take, especially fighting through those 2 trophy systems, fighting through Relaz and Priestley's crossfire as well. Priestley, he has found double kill after double kill this game. That's gonna be a 3-piece over for him, and that's going to be a lot more hardpoint time for the Saints. And what was once an even game, the Saints are going to open up about a 50-55 point lead here by this next rotation. Oh, Priestley, who can stop this man? 5 streak. Relaz is on a 6 streak as well, so these 2 members just quietly decimating the side of Westerrn.
Yeah, I mean, Blaz and Relaz holding it down where it's necessary. Grabbed, I believe that was the whole point, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Maybe dropped 1 or 2 in total, but Westerrn set up on this next one. They're in that embassy building itself. Blaz gonna figure out there's a trophy system on the inside. Priestley's good for 1 on the entry, trying to find this second. Look at these 360s to come through. Every angle cleared. Priestley, the twitchiest COD player I've seen in a while, but so effective. Nonetheless, Richie finds the kill on Brandon. Here's the rotate to start coming back through from Westerrn. Shut down Zyrox before he can make it in. Priestley spots Pookie and Shady over towards the corner, but he still gets the reload off and is still holding this down. Now, can he win the ones? He does win those. Saints looking to close out this series right now. 211, 215. Close to that towards the end. Should be able to hit 220 on this last hard point. Now, the setup here in Kitchen. It's back in from Westerrn.
Yeah, if you just tuned in, we are playing COD. Priestley is not playing Tracer from Overwatch, so you'd expect by the movement and the amount of times he's dodging these bullets. Oh, he's gonna run in the kitchen. That's gonna be an entire Westerrn team down. They storm the kitchen. They take it over. And if you're Westerrn, giving away kitchen at 2:30 is almost going to be that death sentence. They are gonna find a few frags though. They're gonna storm the kitchen right back, and they're gonna find a whole lot of Saints. Richie good for 2. Westerrn's gonna steal away kitchen. We talked about how kitchen is the hardest point to take. Both teams just reverse take it back from each other, and now Westerrn going to find themselves getting some more time, but the Saints, you only need 20 to win out this game.
Yeah, like we said, Kitchen, one of the hardest ones to make that attack on, but it comes off of the trophy systems as well. How many grenades did we see just get tossed in at the Saints there in kitchen. Back and forth here on this last hard point. Saints gonna lock down 240 for this next hard point. 174, gonna be 175 as Westerrn sets up towards this next one. Presumably, actually got a player running around here on the flank. Pookie should be good for Relazed, however. That's a great flank, great movement to come through. 2 to 3 players down from the Saints. The respawn have to come through. Westerrn should be good to crack 180, possibly 200 if they keep these kills up. Pookie's good for it, but 1 for 1 for the Saints. Zyrock's the only one left, and there's the points ticking down. Richie has to make this swing. Priestley and Brandon clear out the rest of the team. 248, still 20 seconds to play with, but all it's going to take is one Saint to take that step forward, and that is 3-1 Saints over Westerrn.
Yeah, Westerrn puts up a hell of a fight in these last 2 maps, end up taking that control 3-1. They push this hardpoint game 250 to, it looks like 170, 180 there. And I mean, Richie, you can't say enough good things about the way this guy played the entire series. So many multi-kills, so many clips just like that. No shots going missed. The only problem is you had a guy like Priestley sitting on the other side, 35 and 24. We saw multi-kill after multi-kill, clipsing that 4K damage mark. By far and away, just that gunner for the Saints that game, and they find a way to get it done. And I mean, hey, they've got a match at 10:30, so they didn't want to stick around in that lobby as long as they didn't have to.
I mean, let's face it, you come in as Westerrn, you dumpster the Saints on control. One of the first maps they've lost all season, and coming into this winter semester. Yeah, I mean, dominated 2 rounds straight, 3 rounds straight, essentially they're in control, and the Saints take that as a wake-up call. They say, all right, we're locking in for hardpoint. They know that they're a strong hardpoint team. You give away the one map, it's a best of 5 for a reason. Saints lock in. Priestley puts it on his back there at the end. That game was neck and neck until Priestley started dropping doubles and triples left and right. Like you said, almost 4,200 damage for Priestley when all was said and done.
Yeah, he was absolutely popping off the entire series. And I mean, what have we come to expect? Priestley, he's going to find some way to get those crazy final kills. He's going to do that patented little jump spin whenever he finds, little twirl whenever he finds kills.
The 360 to check his back.
Exactly, eyes in the back.
It's so effective, though.
I know. Like, as I said, it looks like it's like just twitchy movement, but like he's dodging bullets, he's snaking up and down, he's finding ways to, get creative angles. But the Saints are going to be happy to take that 3-1 win over Westerrn. They're going to move to 5-2 in COD XP. And like Zared said, the coach, they keep winning out, they will auto-qualify for those playoffs. They have a very, very strong record right now. But speaking of records, they want to try to improve. They have a game in the CCL coming up in, I believe, just about half an hour at this point. So with that being said, we will cut it to an intermission. Until then, we will get the guys back in just a little bit, and we will have some CCL action to round off this Tuesday triple threat.